Welcome back, turners. In today's video I'm going to take a couple of pieces that we stabilized in the last video using the asparagus pot, vacuum chamber, and the cactus juice and the toaster oven and all that. This piece of bark, I'm going to cut this into pen size blanks so I can see how far that cactus juice actually penetrated. And with this redwood burl, I'm going to go ahead and turn a pen out of this. I just want to start by saying thanks to all the folks that are watching and subscribing. And because I recently hit 1,500 subscribers, which is amazing to me, and I just can't thank you guys enough for joining the journey and wanting to watch these videos. But I actually have 3 pieces of this, 2 of which are going to be going to some coworkers of mine, but 1 of which is yours. So if you have an interest in a pen from me, I would be happy to even engrave your name on here if you're so interested. All you have to do is send me an email. I'm going to include my one of my email addresses down below. Go ahead and send me your contact information. I will enter it into one of those random deals, and we'll draw a name, and you could be the recipient of this pen. So on that note, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, turners, well, I've got both pieces of the bark that I hopefully stabilized. I've got my little bandsaw set up for 3/4 inch is where I like my pen blank size. I'm going to size these for the Penn State executive type size. I like that size of pen body for showing off the wood. These might also be useful for the Wall Street, or whatever they call it now, type pen bodies. So I'm going to go ahead and run these through and see if I can get a couple good usable blanks out of this. Alright, turners, well, this appears to be the yield from those 2 blocks. This is not looking too bad. There's still some heft to that, and they didn't turn out to be probably big enough for the executive type pens, so I will probably limit these to either the 2-part like concava type pen from PSI, which has both an upper and lower barrel segment, or something like the Wall Street, or do they call it Sierra, or whatever they call it now, the single barrel type. So the penetration seemed to be okay. This one also has heft to it. I'm tempted to put these back in the vacuum chamber and see if I could get a little bit more resin infusion with that cactus juice, just to see if some of this inner surface is still porous enough to accept some more resin. So I'll do that off camera some other day. So this is kind of the yield from that, and why don't we take a look now at that redwood burl and see how that turns. Alright, turners, well, this is the blank I'm going to use. Here's the tube for it. It's an executive kit, like I said earlier. It's a 3/8 inch hole for this tube to go into. So I'm going to go ahead and get a 3/8 inch drill, penmaker's drill, chucked up out of my drill bit set here. And we'll get to making a hole here on the lathe. You know, I prefer drilling on the lathe just because it really helps give me a nice concentric hole for the tube, and better centered to the actual blank itself, in my opinion. So let's get that done. Alright guys, you may have noticed I'm using my pen jaws on the small PSI chuck. I forget which one this is, but I keep these jaws here exclusively for holding pen blanks so I don't have to swap them in and out all the time. Again, just a reminder, always wear your face shield. Even when drilling, you don't know where those chips are going to fly. Best not in your eyes. So let's get to drilling. Well guys, that drilled up really nice. I have good hope that that penetrated well. I'm going to go ahead and glue my tube in there using the regular CA medium, and then square the ends like normal with my end mill, and then we'll chuck this up on the other lathe. There's just a little note on end mill maintenance. So this is the mill part with the cutters on it. What I have is just a little cheap, it's a diamond hone. I want to say this may have come from Harbor Freight, but I don't recall. Anyway, it's a good idea to, on the flat surfaces of the mill, every once in a while, hold this in a kind of a honing position and give it a couple of passes across that face. What that does is it restores a nice sharp edge up here to the top of the mill. So I do that. I think this mill came from, I want to say Woodcraft is where I bought it, but you can get them anywhere. This one I've had for quite a while, so it works well and it does what I need it to do. So let's get it put together and we'll start doing some milling. Okay, I don't know if you can see the glint of the brass, but that is just enough right there. And done. Alright, turners. I'm going to go ahead and use my executive bushings to get this set up. This is my little Excelsior lathe, and just goes like this. Okay, so that's all set up and ready to go. These bushings are the same diameter, OD, top and bottom, so it doesn't matter which direction they go in. So the only difference, if I wanted to do anything fancy with the exterior of the pen barrel, I'd have to keep in mind as I'm turning it, and I see the grain pattern emerge, if I wanted a certain part to be up near the clip end or down toward the gripping end. So this part right here is the PSI mandrel saver. It does a great job keeping a good amount of pressure on the blank so that there's enough friction to hold it while it's turning. You just need to make sure you snug it up here, and you should be ready to go. Turners, here's that burl all turned down. I haven't sanded it yet. You saw me using one of my skews as a negative rake scraper. Isn't that beautiful grain on there? That's just going to really pop when I put, I'm going to use a little bit of a BLO on there and do probably a BLO and CA finish. That's boiled linseed oil with cyanoacrylate or super glue finish. So I've got a little sanding to do around this little grain feature. I can feel it right there. Just a little bit of burl roughness. But otherwise that came out really smooth. So that's looking really nice. I am very happy. And you know, the stabilizing worked awesome. So let me go ahead and do some sanding, and then I'm going to do a little bit of laser engraving before I do the finishing. Alright, Turners, well this has now been sanded up through 600 grit with the, what do I use here? It's just sanding strips. And so that's looking pretty good. It's nice and smooth. And I'm ready to take this over to the laser engraver now. So let's do that. Alright, Turners, let's take this out of the little laser. Take a look at that. Came out pretty good. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give this a light sanding to get some of this, there's like a smoky residue on there from the burning. And then we're going to start doing some finishing and polishing. Alright, Turners, I'm going to be using my normal method of boiled linseed oil and cyanoacrylate glue, CA glue. So there's some boiled linseed oil there. Here's the CA glue. And I'll put these back here where I can get to them. Got my little blue towel. I'm just going to turn this on and get it going. Make a little dot there, squeeze it, and get ready with the CA. Rub it in good. Okay. I'm going to repeat that until it's done. Alright, Turners, there it is. Look at the beautiful grain on that. Just how that burl just colored up nice. It's I got 6 coats of the BLO and CA on there. It's not super shiny. It's got a kind of a nice semi-gloss, I guess, kind of finish to it. But this is perfect. This is just the point at which I like to stop the finish. I don't like them super shiny and plastic feeling. And this will leave quite a nice durable finish. So I'm not going to sand it or do anything else to it at this point. So now let's put the pen together. Well, Turners, here it is. Here's that finished pen. That came out pretty nice, in my humble opinion. I mean, the burl itself, I got to say that it's a beautiful piece of wood. I was glad to be able to stabilize that and make something nice out of it. So again, these were the offcuts from that Redwood Burl lidded vessel, lidded pot that I did some time ago, and showed the stabilizing of those blanks in my last video. So I have two more of those. One of them is going to be for another coworker. This is for one of my coworkers, and one of them is for you. So again, I'm happy you guys are subscribing. It's amazing to me. I just passed 1,500 subscribers. I don't sell anything. I don't do commercials or monetize these videos. I don't ask for support. I'm not sponsored. This is just for fun. This is entertainment for me and hopefully some entertainment for you. So if you'd like a pen, send me your information. Use the email link below. It's an email link that I am going to use just expressly for this giveaway. And I'm going to leave that email open for, let's see, about a week. So let's say, what's today? Today is the 3rd. So on November 10th, midnight Pacific time, the contest ends, and everyone who submitted their name through the email, I'll put in the hat. We'll do a drawing, and the lucky person that gets pulled will get the pen. If you want your name on the pen, then send that in the email as well, and I'll laser engrave it for you too, for free. All for free. I'll ship it for free, and after you get it, throw in all your information away, because I'll protect your privacy. So thanks so much for watching, for subscribing, and for your comments. Please remember to comment, share, like, and check out my channel, where I have a bunch of subscriptions to a lot of other awesome wood turners and woodworkers out there. So thank you guys. We'll see you for the next one.